You gotta love the timing of that song going out right as I was switching over. Hey, everybody, how's it going? Michael Ray Williams back at it with another episode of Level Up. I hope everyone's having a lovely Wednesday. It has been a chore of a week so far, but we're halfway through, and that's pretty good. So if you missed it last time, I am currently exploring uh, various tools to help, with tabletop games to kind of help level things up a little bit. And currently, my latest obsession is this beautiful map making program called Wonderdraft. Last episode, I was working on the map for our first stream of Tabletop Turntable, which if you missed that, you should go check it out. It's super fun. This week, however, we're going to turn to something a little bit different to show off the world map scale that Wonderdraft really has. And I'm going to be working on a map, the world map for our upcoming one of our upcoming streams. So that's what I'm going to be doing. And then later on, at towards the end of the hour, I'm going to show off a little bit of Kobold Fight Club, which is this really cool GM tool online that is used for balancing encounters. So let's just get right into it because I want to work on this map. So I've already started it. If you missed it last time, the way that this app works is you decide what dimensions you want. You can choose a couple of different styles that you put over top that will kind of govern what the water looks like, what the land looks like. And then once you've done them, set your dimensions and chose those features, you can come in and you basically can just paint the land, paint the water, and add all kinds of symbols and things to your map. So yeah, this is the well, at least a portion of the world map for an upcoming campaign that we're going to be running. Essentia is what it is called. That is what the world is called. This island chain, still workshopping names. So if you have any suggestions, feel free to drop them in a comment. But because of the nature of this island, which I'm not going to get too much into on this episode, but that's coming. The nature of this island has me leaning towards calling this chain of islands the Skyborn Islands, um, but I'm not married to that. We're gonna keep thinking about it. Talk with my other players a little bit because this game very much is a communal effort, just like this channel is collaborative storytelling. So at the moment, what I am working on is scaling. So because of you'll notice that this is a big map, right? And trying to get the scaling right for what cities, what structures, whatever you want to have represented on the map, it's a little bit tricky. Now this is down to like personal taste, what is the most aesthetically pleasing to you for your map, for your world. And I'm still just kind of feeling that out because this program is still relatively new to me. So yeah, that's where we're at. So cool thing too is there's a lot of keyboard functionality with Wonderdraft. So if you want or need to move multiple things at once, you just hold down the shift key. I'm using a Galmon drawing monitor, but it works just as well with a mouse. And you can select specific pieces to move around. In this instance, though, I'm going to scale these down a little bit. Now this is where it's going to get a little bit tricky because these all have a base size when you put them down on the map, and you can change that, before you drop it. But I didn't do that. So I'm kind of just flying in the dark in terms of how I'm actually scaling it down. So we're going to see how it looks when I drop it. We're going to go to 13. Yeah, see, it made some of them much bigger. We're going to go down to a 5. It's too small. 12. So you can see I don't love that though. So that one is unusually big. Let's scale you down to, there we go. That's a little more reasonable. But obviously it's a matter of personal preference. So this city, I already forgot if I mentioned it, it's called Titanfell. And it is this massive fungal, essentially a massive fungal colony that grew up out of the body of a dead Titan. What's the name? Titanfell, because this is where he fell. I do have a mind to introduce maybe a series. I don't know if we'll do it on here with shorts or over on our TikTok, which if you're not following, be sure you're following. Be sure you're subscribed. Smash that subscribe button. I have an idea for a series that I want to do, but I have to think about it a little bit more and decide like how I actually want to go about it. But I want to make this like the cartographer's crypt and have kind of this more characterized, stylized sort of setting. And what I basically would do is work on specific portions of a map and tell the lore of that place. Because map making has, and for me anyway, and I'm sure for other players and GMs, is intrinsically tied to world building. You know, thinking about the physical world that the characters are inhabiting. And I love maps. I love the physical representations of like fantasy worlds. One of my favorite, my favorite fantasy book of all time is The Hobbit, which I know that's a super basic answer, but it's the first novel that I read when I was in the 5th grade, and ever since then, like it's just been my favorite. But I loved all the maps that were in that book. I remember distinctly sitting down and copying them, like doing my own versions of them over and over and over again. Same with Lord of the Rings when I eventually read that when I was a little bit older. But I love maps in like fantasy. This is kind of a ridiculous thing to say out loud, but whatever. Whatever. You probably like maps too. Why else would you be here? Unless I just like guilted you into hanging out and watching. Yeah. Maybe. Yeah, I'm a nerd. Benefit of having my wife home watching the stream in the other room. Would you please bring me my drawing glove? It's in my bag, my work bag. I forgot to get it out, but I pulled the tablet out. No rush, but if you have a moment, that would be cool. So we're just gonna scale a lot of these down because while the city is massive, I don't want the icons to be massive. The scale of the city should be represented in the amount of land it actually takes up, I think. At least that's where I'm at right now. That's what I'm operating on right now. Kind of subject to change. I also have in mind to like use this program to make maps from things. Like that might be fun just as a creative exercise. Like I'll do the Middle Earth map on here. Maybe. I don't know. Or the Skyrim map. Or something else. I do want to play around with so one of the cool things about Wonderdraft that I like a lot, thank you, honey, is that it is, first off, it's a one-time purchase. I not sponsored by them or in any way, shape, or form, but I love them. I love the program. But it is a one-time purchase. I hate subscription models. It drives me crazy, and so many resources are shifting over to a subscription-based model, and it's driving me nuts. So uh, I love Wonderdraft because it's a one-time purchase. There are a ton of assets. It comes with a lot of assets. Assets being the symbols that you can put on the map. It comes with a ton in the base download, but there's a massive like you can go to their website and see tons of user created assets. I have purchased and downloaded a couple of them. They vary in price range depending on the amount of symbols that are in the pack, but it's very reasonable from what I looked at and from like the amount of detail that these symbols have. I can actually show you a better example. Let's pick no, not that one. Let's do, yeah, we'll do the Elder Paintable set just to give you a little indication as the amount of detail. But yeah, you can see that already. Like they're not all of them are in this style either, which is cool. So if there is a specific style artistically that you're going for with your map, with your campaign, with your game, there are asset packs that um, suited for all sorts. So super cool, super cool. So glad I found it. Now I know there are some other programs out there that are really popular, and there are some that are great. Incarnate comes to mind. It's an amazing program, um, but it's also got that subscription base, which I don't appreciate. But the program itself is incredible. But yeah, and there are others. I also use Dungeon Alchemist for my battle maps. I'll be doing probably next episode will feature one of those. Next episode of Level Up, I will get into Dungeon Alchemist. Hopefully, at that point, they'll have um, their new Fey aesthetic stuff added to it. Cool thing about Dungeon Alchemist too is that it is also a one-time purchase, but they just a crazy amount of support for that game from the developers. Yeah, super impressive stuff. Never underestimate the power of nerdy creative people when they, compile their nerdy creativity, creative nerdiness, whatever. All right, I'm really at this point just kind of trying to get like the outline, I guess. So let's go back to our symbols and we're gonna look through the yeah. Why are you? Oh, that's because I scaled you up. My bad. Otherworld mapper. Okay, I will check it out. I am also like a big fan of just trying different things because you never know. You might now. There's obviously always going to be like learning curves, so sometimes that will give me pause. Finding that with Foundry, love it, but there's a learning curve. But I like checking out other resources because, like I said, you never know like what tools you might find that are just like perfect, that do exactly what you need them to do. Uh, Plus, like just more creative stuff. Anything that encourages that like creative play kind of thing. I'm all about. Hi, Owen. Thanks for coming out. What's funny is that my the party question that this campaign will be centered around is currently like chatting over in our Discord. Y'all should be watching. Wifey's watching. How you doing, Owen? It's thanks for watching. I hope you're doing well. How's the wife? Is this what like being a YouTube person is like? Stupid. All right. Still have like, I still want. I don't know. I'm not married to this scaling, but I think maybe the problem might be that I need to get some more structures on the map, like in other places. I mean. I mean, you're not wrong. We're chill. We're keeping it casual. It occurs to me that maybe I should have the music going quietly, or would that be a distraction? I don't know. I can't hear. I won't ever hear it because it doesn't play through my headphones. I don't know. I don't know. Just a little. You also can like change the base color of a lot of these. Now, some of them, as you can see, are colored or painted, and then there are these white ones that will take on the color of whatever the bottom of the base map there is. And then you have these up here that are all blued out because that's the custom color that's selected. But if you were to change that, it changes here. So you can add some pretty cool levels of customization, which I probably will play around with at some point. I've been working on a lot of maps for this world that we are creating, Essentia. Yeah, music wouldn't hurt. You're not wrong. I wonder if I can do that, navigate that while I'm on the stream. The problem is my friggin' webcam takes up so much of my vision. Forgot that my speakers are on. How's that? Is that too loud? Let me know, Owen. A note? Yeah, absolutely. Go for it. How's that? Is that better? Yeah. Sweet. Thank you. So I don't remember what the names of these packs are. It's not all of them. There really are a metric ton of symbols built in here. Crazy. Man, I'm trying to use my vocal cues up here on the Streamlabs, and apparently it's being deceptive because it had me maxing out, and the music is down way low now. But I'll turn it down some more. How's that? Is that better? Because it was going like into the yellow and then the red earlier. I know that. Oh, and you mentioned last time when I was working on this that it gave you like a feudal Japan kind of vibe. There actually is a bunch of like Japanese style map icons. Yeah. All right, we're gonna. I think maybe move. No, not yet. I'm gonna put like. So Titanfell is a huge city, right? Fungal city. But it's also, I don't want to get too much into like the lore dump. It's a very big bustling city. There's lots of people there, and that is reflected in portions of the city. There's one portion of the city that kind of is a mixture of the melting pot of the D&D fantasy folks. Sweet. Awesome. Huh. Weird. This is still kind of an enigma. Thanks, Michael. I appreciate that. Titanfell's kind of a melting pot, and there are portions of the city that's reflected in, one section of the city kind of has all the gamut of the classic Dungeons and Dragons races, and then another portion of the city is the Myconid, like sort of center, and then there's another city that features one of my homebrew species, bug folk, and each one I want to have somewhat visually represented. While all of them are in this fungal city, they all still have sort of their own unique architecture and whatnot. So yeah. So trying to like look through the sets and find a couple of different things that to drop in. That okay, we got all these mushrooms here, but let me put this building, that this thatched roof building. Another neat feature here is you can down here. Over here. Yes, bug folk. I actually have it's the species has, I think, I need to double check my notes, but I think it's 8 subspecies. Ant, hopper, moth, mantid. There's like a just generic sort of beetle. You know that you've gone a little off the deep end with the homebrew stuff when you can't keep track of your own homebrew stuff. But I've been at it for a long time now, so I guess that's okay. But yeah, homebrew species, bug folk. I'm actually thinking about making once we get a little more off the ground, some more content going, some more subscribers and viewers and stuff, and we really start to focus on some of the Patreon rewards. I'm thinking about making. I am a madman. I'm thinking about making supplementals to do as like monthly rewards for joining the Patreon. So like instead of treating the Patreon like just this, you just singularly get access to our extra content, which is be like behind the scenes stuff, more off the cuff, you know, and just all kinds of stuff. But treating it like more of a subscription service, which is ironic with my ranting about subscription service this earlier. But our Patreon is live. You're right. You're right. We just don't. I just don't have super high expectations right now, and I think that's okay. We'll get there. We'll get there. But I'm thinking about making supplementals to send out monthly, so they'd be like homebrew packs, like PDFs maybe, of you know the homebrew species, or a slew of homebrew items, or homebrew monsters. I've gotten so many monsters that I have made. So I have created kind of these tiered structures. So the ants. Oh, there's also wasps, bees. The ants, the wasps, bees. They kind of have sort of the dominant like social structure, but there's not really like one species that dominates the others. Um, the city itself is run by a sort of like council, like you would expect in any kind of like fantasy sort of setting, or really any setting that features any kind of geopolitical concepts. And the council has representatives that come from each section of the city, but because the city was founded and like started by the Myconids, because that's a giant mushroom city, they have everybody kind of has to come to them really with things, because they basically permit these other species from cohabitating. At least that's kind of how it all started, and it's been a long time. I've created a big, huge history. No, this I guess you weren't here. No, this is the Skyborn Islands. I don't know if the Skyborn Isles, Skyborn Isle. I don't know if I like that or not. We're gonna workshop that. We might do a poll. No, this is all of them. Up here in the top left corner. Oh yeah, you can see. Oh, I keep forgetting you can see my cursor. I'm not used to. I keep forgetting that. So this is Karajit, which is a place that our characters in the new campaign are from. This is down here is called Celestara. This is Skyvale up here, and I forget what I named this one. These are all subject to change. The outer isles, especially. Oh no, wait. This is Karajit. This is Celestara. Strike that. Reverse it. And then here in the middle is the supercontinent that has kind of showed up. I'm not going into the lore dump yet because we haven't had the lore dump with the party, and I want to do that first before I do it with the public. So yeah, this is. I guess I could do a little tour of the sections that I do have on this part. So. Yeah, so down here is a fishing village, sort of port town called Akosis. Some of them are yet to be named. I mean, I have names, I just haven't committed to all of them. Like, I haven't committed to what I'm going to call this one over here. I haven't committed to a name for this forest. There's also a set of ruins out here. I have a name for them, but I had some random combination of vowels and consonants that I have not committed to memory. Up here, this is called the Brightmire. It's this giant toxic swamp, marshland. There are some ruins here that I'm not going to name. I have a name, but I'm not going to name because some of my players are watching, and it's relevant to the game. This is the observing spire, is what this little structure is here. Oh yeah, I'm workshopping names for the mega continent, you're right. And then up here is a city called Shrexus. Oh yeah, God, I'm so used to being on my tablet. I keep trying to zoom in by pinching. Yeah, and I have a couple of more. Not all of the cities are represented yet, which I suppose I could at least go ahead and throw some symbols on the map to get some representation of said cities down. There's going to be sort of a new city, that the details of how it's come about. I told you I'm not going into the lore dump stuff because we haven't talked about it yet. I guess I could. I don't know. We got what? I got 15 minutes. I got to jump over to Kobold Fight Club. I appreciate you. My wife, ladies and gentlemen. Days and dims. So there is going to be. Why is that one so big? That's what she said. There's going to be a settlement here. I think I'm just going to drop one symbol on the map for now. Somewhere in this area, I might move it. Hey! I recognize that handle. It's Jimmy Jams. How goes it? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oh, and there's one I can't talk about. Again, there are players present. We haven't got this game going yet. I mean, y'all know what I mean. I mean, you famously roll broken characters, like it's a thing. So I don't know what to tell you, homie. And yes, I know that originally it was my doing. Just keep it civil in the chat party, or don't. I'm not bothered. Okay. There is a river that runs through here, and I need to change the color of the water underneath it because that should be like fresh water, not ocean water. Meg, I will answer your question about the tides when I'm done with the live. Okay, just remind me. Don't let me forget. So this tool also features these cool brush tools, which you just like with any other art program, you know, you can do color picking, and it's not perfect, but so dark. Why is it so dark? Oh wait, that's because I need to paint the crap on there, don't I? I'm sure you do. I'm sure you do. All will be revealed. It won't. Not everything will be revealed. Sorry about it. Kinda. I guess because it's not on land, maybe I need to bring the land back up. You know, oh, yeah, that's exactly it. Look at there. Cool. There's a massive river that runs there. Neat. There really are lots of really cool ways to differentiate the visual elements of the map, including like contrast scalars and sliders and stuff. It's just really neat. I like it a lot. Fair enough. Fair enough. Alright, we're about the 10-minute mark. Alright, so the other thing, I'm going to save my map because the other thing I want to talk about really briefly in the last little 10 minutes that I'm going to stay alive here. We've saved our map. Exit. You can be happy. Kobold Fight Club. So, if you are not familiar with Kobold Fight Club, let's see how many times I can say it. Kobold Fight Club is an amazing resource that is built for building encounters. So I'm just gonna show you. By doing. So you can, and this is one of the reasons I asked, this is the reason I sent a message out to my party earlier today, or just a little while ago, asking about their initiative and their HP, because you can create your own detailed parties, which I am in the process of doing here, and then you can turn it on and have that set as a default. These are things that you can save, they stay. Really convenient, but for this purpose we're going to do a generic group. So standard size of a party, 4? That's what it started with, so that's what we're going to go with. I am not a fan of starting games at level 1. Level 3 is an acceptable, low level to start. Level 5 is my preferred level because that's really when you get the good feel for the character, so that's what we'll do here. It shows you your XP goals. It gives you variations on like how difficult you want the encounters to be. You also can just ignore XP if you're doing milestone, which is what I prefer. You don't even have to use XP, but we'll keep it on just for now for the sake of the demonstration. And what you can do over here is you can decide, the difficulty level. You can also tailor what kind of fight it is. Is it a boss fight? Is it a boss fight with minions? Is it 2 monsters? Is it a trio of monsters? Is it a whole horde of monsters? Or is it just some random thing? We'll just keep it random for the time being. We're going to bump it up to medium, and it generates an encounter. And here is your encounter. The other really cool feature that this website has is the database of monsters, of enemies that you can encounter. There are a metric ton of sources. These are just the sources that I am using, the ones that are highlighted green. I really do need a new mouse. My mouse scroll wheel does not want to work. But you have all of the official source books. You have the official adventure books. You have web supplements. There's also a bunch of third-party stuff, which is really great. If you're not familiar with some of these, Tome of Beasts is an amazing series. And then there's also some community-driven ones. Tons and tons of monsters. I think with the preset that I have, with the sources that I have set, I have access to like 3,000 monsters. Yeah, just incredible. And that's your it plans out your encounter just like that. Over here, which is really neat, you can tweak your challenge rating if you want. You can also like focus in on specific sizes. You can give specific types. You can choose the environment in which the characters are fighting, and you can decide whether or not they're legendary. You can come down here and decide on their alignments, and then generate another. We're going to clear this encounter and generate another encounter, and then it gives you those things. So just super cool tool. If you play online, or even if you don't, if you play in person and you're not old school, you don't use the paper thing, there is another website that this one pairs with. That's the Improved Initiative. You can send the encounter. Ooh, I need to unplug this. Oh, sorry. The fire's coming up from underneath. So you can send it over here. This is just like on Kobold Fight Club. You can come up here and you can add characters. You can create a party, and you can have this digital initiative tracker. And it's just a super cool pair of tools. So there you go. That's I think, yeah, we're at just at an hour. I think that's good. Again, none of the Kobold Fight Club, Wonderdraft, none of the things that I'm mentioning, none of them are sponsors or anything like that. They're all just tools that I really enjoy that have been just very helpful in my journey to become a better GM. And yeah, I see people on TikTok all the time asking for advice, asking for tips. The reason I wanted to show Kobold Fight Club is because there have been a lot of debate lately about fudging rolls and planning encounters that are balanced. Balancing encounters is hard, and if you don't do it consistently, just like any skill, if you don't do it consistently, if you don't practice it, you don't necessarily get better at it. And this really takes a lot of the legwork out. So yeah. Thanks for hanging out, chat. I saw that a lot of y'all really got into it here at the end, and I appreciate that. Even though I don't know, I've kind of lost what my train of thought there. I need to eat. It's dinner time. So yeah, that's all I got. Come hang out with us next Tuesday for episode 2 of Tabletop Turntable. We'll be continuing going into the quiet year, which will lead up to a short 5e campaign that will be run by James Downey. Players Sam, oh man, I don't remember Sam's last name. I'm just going to say everybody's first name. Sam and Sean are our newbies that are joining us, and then our old school, the founders of Grimstone Gaming, Meg, Katie, and myself and James. Super fun time. If you're not familiar with the Quiet Year, go back and watch our first episode. A different take on it because we're doing it in a virtual format. But good stuff nonetheless. That was a really fun map. That's been a fun map to work on because it's so different from the other stuff that I'm doing. Yeah, we have a good time. We got lots of fun stuff coming down the pipe, the Grimstone pipe. So be sure you're following us on all the socials. We're on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok. We do have a Patreon. If you want to throw $5 our way to help us continue to build up some momentum, build up some steam. We really do have an incredible team of creative people that want to bring really good gaming content to anybody and everybody that wants it. So that's all I got. Yeah. May the dice be ever in your favor and never stop